yeah, so I had the boba tea and then I didn't, it was okay, but I was a bit confused about it, but maybe that's because I had not the right flavor. I don't know. Pokemon cards. So Sleepy and Mary really wanted to do like a card opening content, but we didn't have any hand cams, so it was kind of like a bit redundant to have card opening content collab if we couldn't show you guys what we were opening. But we did end up going to a lot of the TCG stores, and that was a eye-opening experience for me, because I did not realize just how fucking absurd the Pokemon card market is. And there were lots of them. There were lots of TCG places. It's actually insane, because we went into one place and they had this one card that was $63,000. Because I knew about the obsession of streamers opening the boxes. I knew about that. But I didn't know about the price of the cards themselves if you get a rare drop being ridiculously high. It's scalp to hell. And like Dizzy and Sleepy and Mary even earlier in this trip, and Pippa, they were all explaining to me like, hey, why is this fucked? Like, why is it like this? And I still don't think I understand. Like, Sleepy was talking about how it was Logan Paul wore a Charizard or something around his neck, and that was like the impetus for people getting into using Pokemon cards for gambling and money laundering and all that jazz, right? And so I was very confused. Very confused. It was before that even, but that spiked it. Yeah, well, the thing is, some of those cards that they had in those stores were selling for like 500. It's Canadian though, so, but I mean, Canadian and Australian is kind of close. I think it's like $1 Canadian is like $1.10 Australian or something. So realistically, I'm sitting on a minefield of infinite wealth because I still have all my original cards. I have the original 151 in card form. Most of them, when they are the shinies, are the shinies. Yeah, the problem is the condition. My grubby little hands as a younger form of myself might actually have ruined my infinite wealth potential. I have like all of those cards. So I was going into these shops, seeing these display cases and seeing all these cards that I have on display for some of them over 1,000 Canadian. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? This card that I got when I was, I don't know, 10 is now worth over $1,000. I think some of the most ridiculous ones were like, oh yeah, like this Blastoise from the original launch is like $2,000. I have 2 of them. Or I had 2 of them. I think I traded a Blastoise for a Chansey. You might get 500 for the set. Well, the thing is, the store guy was like, oh, there's a website where you can go and get them graded yourself. You just upload pictures of them and they grade them visually on the quality of the image, but you have to have like image proof that you're taking the pictures, right? So if you have original run cards like I do, you may be sitting on a lot of money. Just a heads up, because I have them. I could probably go look for them right now. Mystery is afoot. We don't know what happened to them. No, I think they've probably been packed away when we did a spring cleaning in the house. I think we will find them at some point, and then I guess I can show them off, right? I could probably show them off to you guys and be like, hey, do you reckon these are worth anything? So yeah, they might be in storage. Because yeah, it turns out I might very well be sitting on an insane amount of money. Because I don't think they were in that bad a condition, to be honest. I don't think I would have ruined them that much. But they probably are. I doubt they would be perfect condition, but they might be in a decent state, you know? A decent enough state. Get the nicer ones, get them PSA graded. do I have to send them off to do that? Because I don't think I really trust the people involved in that process, right? Because you have to pay them to do that. Grading is a scam, but isn't that how you get them their value in the first place? By grading them? Because that would be very cool if I had a lot of money potentially available to me through something as silly as Pokemon cards. Because I like having the collection, but having a house is maybe nicer than having the collection. I think that's also an interesting story. Yeah, I got a house through Pokemon cards. Which, okay, small tangent ahead. I have something exciting to announce. Not that I have a house. Before you jump to that conclusion, I have an appointment with a mortgage broker. With my bank. So, the train may be starting on clioaite finally has a house for herself arc. Yay! So yeah, I'm gonna talk to my bank and I'm gonna hopefully figure out how much mortgage I'm looking at, because interest rates at the moment is dropping in Australia, so that's very promising. It's a very promising time for, potentially getting my own house. Who is Lottie? Lottie is my dog. Well, the house dog. So yes, if I move away, that means no more Lottie on streams, most likely, because Lottie is probably not going to be able to come with me. Especially if I end up in like an apartment place, which would be probably for the best if Lottie stayed here with roomies instead of comes with me, because if I move out into my own place, even if I do have my ability to have a dog in my new place, like it's not an apartment, it's a house and I get to, do whatever I want, I am probably gonna go pretty hard into content creation, because obviously then I will have a mortgage. I will have a mortgage that needs paying off, so I would want to go real hard in content making and go very severe, career mode, which means I probably won't have time to look after her, because I would want to stream as much as possible and make content as much as possible. For example, I've said this in the past, if I have my own place, I can do hand cam content because I won't have to worry about doxing my roomies. I can do content around my house. I'm not just locked to my room. So I can, I can film stuff in the kitchen, for example. I can do more cooking with Clios, because the previous cooking with Clios all had to be pre-recorded. I can do hand cams, because, I don't have to worry about, anyone else being on camera, potentially. I don't have to, and then I would have a bigger desk. I would have a dedicated streaming room to stream in. And I'm not locked away in my tiny room, and I can have a little bit of a work-life break between rolling out of my bed and instantly being at my computer, right? You're leaving your roomies? I'm not leaving them. I'm looking into potentially getting my own place. Losing your remaining social contacts and going even harder on streaming will make you insane. Well, yes, but if I do end up moving to certain places in Australia, I will actually be geographically very close to my friends, actually, instead of, isolated in the outback of Australia. I could always just marry someone with a house. That would require me to talk to people. Not an hour away from civilization anymore. It's more like 2 to 3. Pick someone from chat? No! I'm not going to... It's not the Hunger Games. We're not volunteering as tribute to have a hag story and become the hag husband. That's a terrible idea. They're gonna have a terrible time. You don't know what it's like to date me. I don't know what it's like to date me either, because I've never done it. You would cook for me? When's the battle royale? Gotta reply for leave. No. I sell myself short, I guess? A Halo tournament to decide my fate? I think I should be allowed to pick my hypothetical husband or wife. I should be allowed to pick it myself, not have to worry about you guys deciding for me via a video game tournament. Pick the game? No! Just 1v1 the winner? Yeah, but then I'd have to win. And I don't know if my gamer ability will hang with everyone else, considering how much you guys sometimes clown on me about my ability or inability in video games. Make everyone in Kenshi and have them fight. I don't think you can, right? Because once they're on your team, I don't think they can attack each other. Or maybe they can. I don't know, I've never tried. I don't know about having a tournament to decide my husband or wife. I mean, moving to a more populated area would potentially increase the exposure to other people to potentially be romantically involved with. But I don't really have any desire to do that at the moment because I like streaming and having a partner would get in the way of streaming. Also, I think I'm too selfish. Probably. I think I'm too selfish when it comes to maybe what I would need out of a relationship. Would you want to play second fiddle to my career? I don't think most people would. I think isn't that why a lot of people, especially famous people, do divorce? You know, they marry people in high-profile industries and then they never end up actually spending time with each other because they're too busy being whatever, actors, whatever. As long as you're the breadwinner, I guess. I mean, it just depends, right? It depends on how that all works. I don't know. It'd be interesting to figure out if that was feasible, but I have no like plans to have romantic dates or anything because too much time to date. I could be streaming and on the grind and paying off my hypothetical mortgage instead of, I don't know, smushing butts. I'm married to EU4 instead. It's true. I've married a video game. The marriage happened in Sweden, hence it's legit. Dating a streamer means dating someone who gives a lot of attention to strangers. It's not for someone who gets jealous. Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that why a lot of streamers do end up dating other streamers? Is because your workplace is so weird that the only people who can really relate to the experience of being a streamer is other streamers, hence why all of them end up dating each other. I think if I wanted to date someone, I probably would want them to be in a different industry because I would want to have a separation of work and life, I mean, I've talked about it before. I think it would be nice if I had someone that like I could end stream and then just cuddle up next to on the couch and they can tell me about their day whilst I don't know, twirl with their hair, put my head on their chest, read a book together, watch the news, and that sort of stuff. Maybe not whilst your streaming career is going. Something in the future when the career isn't working out. When I'm washed up as a VTuber and then I'd be like, guys, I'm pregnant. By the way, I have a husband and I'm pregnant. Family channel when? Oh no, if I ever do have children, they are not. No, I'm keeping them out of the spotlight. No. Yes, my new child, Europa Universalis 5. Me and the father, Europa Universalis 4, are very excited to announce the due date soon. Yeah, we're expecting. What am I saying? I'm just a joke about the game coming out hopefully soon, but I haven't heard anything. I'm officially adding you to the list of phase girls that desperately need to be married. I volunteer. Thank you for the super chat. I know not desperately need to be married, but I mean, I have some fever in regards to like, I don't know, babies and getting married and all that jazz, but I don't need to know if I need it desperately. Again, I think being around other women in similar situations as myself is triggering it. Because it turns out, I think all the invaders are just like, babies. We have baby fever now. Not pick me fever, we have baby fever. I need to breed. Would I ditch my career for a rich, loving husband? I don't know. because I really like doing this. So I don't know. I don't know if I could be a housewife, like a stay-at-home housewife. I think that sounds boring. Because then I guess I would just stream in between having to look after the child. And then if we're that wealthy, we could just be like a terrible parents and like offload the care to the nanny so that the child forms more relationships with the nanny instead of me, and then they grow up all fucked up because they don't have a loving parents because I was too busy streaming and they were, I guess the husband was rich and doing business stuff. Laundry stream when? I've done my laundry on stream. Get the grandparents as nannies. My sister has been offloading so much nannying to my parents, which is hilarious. They kept complaining about having nothing to do in retirement, and then my sister had a kid, and now they're like, oh, we have too much to do. And I'm just like, you were asking for this for so long. You got what you wanted. Now reap what you sow. Because, like, I kept getting asked, Clio, you need to settle down and have a child. And then my sister finally had a kid. And now they're, like, overworked from having to, you know, babysit for my niece. And then my sister's like, yeah, we're thinking about having another one. And my parents are like, you're doing what? Can you maybe wait a little bit? You know, there's a few years between you two. We do that with your kids. And, yeah. It's been fun to see. No, I don't think I could be a rich housewife. I think I'd like to still do what I do. I guess there probably are VTubers who are incredibly wealthy, IRL, right? Like, Kota Ibushi, the wrestler, he's like the heir to like a very wealthy Japanese conglomerate or like fashion brand or something. He doesn't have to do any work in his life. He's set to inherit like a multi-bajillion dollar or yen company. So he doesn't need to actually do anything. So that's why he's a professional wrestler, because he just does it because he loves it. Rich and married to Kenny Omega. He is. That's true. He's a Nepo baby? Kinda. That's a boring life? No, well, I mean, he makes it fun with wrestling and also probably hooking up with hot people. Did I finish my tangents? Oh yeah, so we hung out in the warehouse. Please play Civ with Dizzy or she's going to cry. I will play Dizzy. I will play Civ with Dizzy. No, don't clip that. No, I misspoke so bad. No!